How I failed at DILR in my first attempt. At that point ना आप ना गलतियाँ करते हो.
कई बार in the middle of the preparation they feel demotivated. कई बार आपको लगा you just want to give up because you were also working. So how did you manage that? Effort future पे लगाओ.
अपने efforts future पे लगाओ, जो पीछे रह गया वो रह गया यार.
बिल्कुल.
You don't have control over that.
Hi everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Juhi Narula. I'm your mentor at MBA Wallah by Physics Wallah, and we're extremely elated to welcome with us Akshay Karnwal. Akshay has done his MBA from MDI Gurgaon. He's been a gold medalist, so you can see he's a go-getter. And currently he's working with Deloitte as a strategist. He has done his engineering from very prestigious IIIT Allahabad. He also has a work experience with Citigroup. Very young, very dynamic and very enthusiastic. We have with us Akshay Karnwal. Akshay Karnwal, welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for such a warm welcome. I'm really glad that I'm here and I'm getting this opportunity to talk to the students.
I'm sure students are going to really learn a lot from this interaction. Thank you so much, Akshay. We are truly grateful to have you with us. Thank you for sparing your time. So, Akshay, tell us, how has been your journey?
Well, if I have to describe in one word, I would say it's been very exciting. It has been full of different experiences. I was an engineer. I worked in a bank for 3 years as a software developer, and then I did my MBA, and now I'm working as a consultant. So it has been pretty diverse and lots of learnings over the journey.
Wow. तो अक्षय ये बताओ कि CAT का क्रैक करने का कैसे सोचा? How did you feel like? Because we can see your profile, you've got great work experience, you come from a very prestigious college. So how did you think that you should go for MBA, and when did you start preparing for CAT?
So to be very honest, I always wanted to do an MBA. So I come from a business family, so I always had a knack for like doing businesses, how they are operated, and a very standard thing for that is to go for a formal business education. But I also had an interest in computer science. So my first step was that I did my graduation, I prepared for JEE, I entered into IIIT Allahabad, and I pretty well knew that I'll be going for some of the corporate experience before I went for my MBA. And so that's where Citibank comes in. But just to mention here, so I appeared for my first CAT exam in 2016 itself.
Oh,
so,
that was while you were in the final year, if
correct.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that was my final year of my graduation. But at that point of time, it was sort of a mock for me. I knew very well that I'm going to join Citi, but...
and you were placed during that time?
Yeah, I was already placed.
So you had a placement and then you just appeared for CAT to get the experience?
Yeah, I just wanted to get a reality check, where I stand. So I appeared for that exam.
And how much did you get?
It was 98.45 in that year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get any call?
I just applied for the Holy Trinity, didn't get a shortlist.
Okay.
Maybe that's the reason why I spent 3 years working in
Right.
the organization. Yeah.
Right.
So, and then after that, I spent while I was in my job, I used to be working on software products, solving client problems, helping drive businesses, but there was always a feeling that something is missing, and I used to ponder what can I do to really fill that void.
So आपने वो experience किया कि you needed certain skill sets which only an MBA can provide. Can you say that?
Maybe more than the skill set, मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, जो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो बहुत वैल्यू ऐड कर रहा है, बट कुछ ना बैकएंड पे है, मुझे ना वो बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करनी थी. मैं बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोडक्ट्स डेवलप कर रहा था, मुझे कोर में जाना था. So that's when I decided कि yeah, now I'm going to go for my MBA, and that's when I started preparing for the CAT 2019. So
and when did you start? November में exam होता है, तो आपकी preparation कब start हुई?
My prep was started around July, August.
Wow.
Around 3 to 4 months.
Wow. तो 3 to 4 months कुछ हमारे students ने 3 months पहले enroll किया हमारे कुछ programs में, और उनका यही क्वेश्चन रहता है कि मैम आर 3 months sufficient? So आप इस डाउट को एड्रेस करो. How did you make the most of the 3 months?
To be very honest, the CAT exam is not that difficult. But the point is, if you address it strategically, if you really look at the entire picture, you see where you stand, you see what they are really assessing you on, and then you try to bridge that gap. Now, the advantage that I had was I already appeared for that exam in 2016. I had a score, I knew what my weak areas are. So, because I was an engineer, I had prepared for JEE exam. Quants and DILR was sort of a strength for me. So that's where I really had an edge. But then VARC was not so much, and that's where I had to put in efforts. तो मैंने पहले ही फिगर आउट कर लिया था कि मुझे इतना टाइम मुझे लगेगा, एंड आई वाज वर्किंग एज वेल, सो आई हैड टू बैलेंस माय टाइम एज वेल, एंड टाइम मैनेजमेंट इज की. It's not just for CAT preparation, it's much more important during your MBA and your corporate life.
Right. So maybe the lessons that we can take from this answer is, एक तो time management important है.
Very
दूसरा, it's very important to analyze your strengths and weaknesses.
Correct.
Like you knew that DILR works well for you, quant works well for you.
Yeah.
VARC was difficult. So how did you prepare for VARC? वो हमारे students का भी थोड़ा weak area रहता है. They struggle with reading comprehension a lot. So
that was the biggest struggle I used to have.
Achha.
So one thing that I really focused on was how to increase my speed. I would read articles in newspapers, Economic Times, and the purpose was not to that I want to gain some general knowledge. That helps. That was very important because that's something I always keep myself aware about. What's
so you are a
around.
regular reader? Can we say that?
Yeah, you can say I'm a regular reader. The modes may change. Sometimes I go explore newspapers. Sometimes I'll just go on websites. That's so on. But what really helped is it helped me increase the speed of my reading.
So that's an advice that you would like to give, the generic reading career.
Yeah, and the reason for that is CAT is not actually assessing you just on your verbal or quantitative aptitude. It's an assessment of how you balance your time and maximize your score.
Yes.
Accuracy with time management.
Yes.
So it's very important.
Yes. So usually this is the advice that I give to my students कि पहले strategy पे काम करो, उससे accuracy आएगी, accuracy आ गई तो confidence आ जाएगा और time अपने आप manage हो जाएगा.
Correct.
तो how do you know, from your experience, how would you know, help our students with this perspective? Do you disagree? Do you agree?
No, I totally agree to this. I totally agree to this. Strategic element is very important.
Right. क्योंकि effort and effort in the right direction, तो students कई बार effort करते हैं but right direction में नहीं होता. तो आपने वो 3 महीने में what did you do? I mean, tell us about those 3 months कि आपने, क्योंकि आपको पता था कि कौन दिया है तो आपका sorted है. आपने VARC को you did put a lot of focus. एक suggestion आपने दिया कि आपने read बहुत किया. कितने marks दिए थे आपने?
15 to 20 mocks in those 3 to 4 months. So probably I think maybe 2 mocks every month or 3 mocks every month.
Right.
But the thing was I was very consistent with that. And it's not that I started giving mocks later. Actually, I gave my first mock before even starting my preparation.
Wow, that was sort of a diagnostic
Right.
test.
मैंने CAT एग्जाम 3 साल पहले दिया था. 3 साल में बहुत कुछ चेंज हो जाता है. मैं सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट कर रहा था, क्वांट्स के क्वेश्चन नहीं सॉल्व कर रहा था.
True, true.
तो हो सकता है I'll fall back in that aspect. So मैंने पहले मॉक टेस्ट दिया, देन आई एनालाइज माई परफॉर्मेंस अक्रॉस सेक्शंस कि किस में मैं अच्छा प्रिपेयर कर रहा हूँ, किस में अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस आ रहा है, एंड नॉट जस्ट इन अ सेक्शन. उस सेक्शन में आप टॉपिक्स भी एनालाइज करो. इज एल्जेब्रा योर स्ट्रेंथ और इज कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री योर वीकनेस एंड सो ऑन.
Yes, so detailed analysis बड़ा crucial है, right?
And not just once, you do it every time.
Every time you appear for mock.
Because your CAT exam, the structure is pretty much defined, but maybe in one exam your coordinate geometry will have a weightage of
questions.
10%, but in the other exam it could be more.
Right. So अक्षय, एक कॉमन क्वेश्चन स्टूडेंट्स के एंड पे आता है कि कई बार इन द मिडल ऑफ द प्रिपरेशन दे फील डीमोटिवेटेड. मॉक में स्कोर नहीं आया तो उनका गिव अप करने का मन करता है. तो यू टेल मी, डिड यू हैड सम सिमिलर एक्सपीरियंस? कई बार आपको लगा यू जस्ट वांट टू गिव अप बिकॉज यू वर आल्सो वर्किंग. सो हाउ डिड यू मैनेज दैट? बिकॉज दिस इज वन इशू दैट स्टूडेंट्स रियली हैव. सो आई वुड रियली वांट यू टू इलैबोरेट हियर.
This is very true, and to be very honest, no one can really ace all the exams with like the consistency, the same marks and same in all the sections. Quantitative aptitude was my strongest. और कुछ mocks में I used to get 90 percentile there.
सबसे कम.
और that was like this is going to drive my percentile, और वही weak हो गया तो फिर अगर VARC नहीं चला तो फिर क्या होगा? तो वो होता है. But one thing we have to remember is that never lose hope. If you stop trying, it's end.
Yes.
So you have to be consistent. अगर नहीं आ रहा रिजल्ट तो ये नहीं कि मेहनत करो, जो आपने कहा एफर्ट इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. यू फिगर आउट कि दिक्कत क्या हो रही है, कहाँ प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. मे बी आपके कोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स ही वीक हैं, और हो सकता है कोर कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत स्ट्रांग है. मे बी आप
टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रैटेजी में गड़बड़ कर गए.
दैट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट दैट यू जस्ट हाईलाइटेड.
तो मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि कॉन्सेप्ट्स और टेस्ट टेकिंग स्ट्रैटेजीज, इसमें एक परफेक्ट बैलेंस होना जरूरी है. सो नाउ कमिंग टू दिस, जब आपने एक्चुअल कैट दिया तो आपने कितने क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करे थे? आई एम श्योर द स्ट्रक्चर एंड नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इज स्लाइटली चेंज्ड, बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ परसेंटेज इफ यू कुड आंसर.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, during my year CAT had like 100 questions, and I attempted around 50% of questions.
So 50% पे आपका exact percentile कितना था अक्षय?
99.45.
99.45. Just attempting 50% of the questions.
Correct.
Right.
Just 50% of the questions.
Right. So how we would like more explanation here. How did you select? What was the strategy? What was the thought process? And there are some times जब एग्जाम में आप बहुत jittery feel करते हैं, anxious feel करते हैं, तो वो तो हर एग्जाम का that's a part of it and you have to accept it. But मेरे हिसाब से जितना मॉक्स देते हो आप comfortable हो जाते हो एग्जाम में. So how did you that day, D-Day, what was the thought process behind question selection?
I'll take you a little bit back in the time when I appeared for my first CAT to answer this better.
Sure.
So in that attempt, my weakest link was DILR, which was supposed to be my second strength.
अच्छा, yes, quant के बाद आपने कहा था DILR. हाँ.
अब मैंने आपको बताया मैंने 2019 में बस 50% क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट किए. 2016 में क्या हुआ था? Maximize my attempts, but accuracy took a hit.
हाँ.
वो बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज.
तो आपने वहां से लेसन लिया. दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट. लाइक फियर ऑफ फेलियर नहीं रखेंगे, लेसन्स लेंगे और आगे बढ़ेंगे. राइट. तो
जब मैंने प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट की, मैंने वो लर्निंग भी अपने दिमाग में रखी एंड देन मैंने मॉक भी दिया पहला एंड देन कंसिस्टेंटली मॉक्स दिए. While I gave my first mock, at the same time I also analyzed कि past trends क्या हैं टॉपर्स की परफॉर्मेंस के, and that's where I realized 100 questions, उस टाइम 100 questions होते थे, अब 66 होते हैं. But to be very honest, the percentage of questions attempted or required is still pretty much the same.
Right.
थोड़ा बहुत वेरिएशन आता है डिफिकल्टी लेवल के ऊपर, but law of averages is कि यार तुम्हारे लिए डिफिकल्ट है तो दूसरे के लिए भी है.
हाँ, true.
So
very
generally
important.
you will score a 99 percentile with 40 to 50% of correct attempts. In a difficult year it will be 40%. In a simple, easier paper it will be 50%.
Right, absolutely.
Now it simplifies the equation a lot. 66 questions आते हैं अभी CAT एग्जाम में. The exam is 2 hours, 120 minutes. So you have 110 seconds per question. It's very less of a time. आपको क्वेश्चन पढ़ना भी है, स्टार्ट भी करना है.
और स्टूडेंट्स इसी फियर के साथ जाते हैं.
This is the biggest problem in exams. That's what I said. How I failed at DILR in my first attempt.
क्योंकि आपने मैक्सिमाइज करने की कोशिश.
So and at that point ना आप ना गलतियां करते हो.
क्योंकि प्रेशर होता है क्वेश्चंस को ज्यादा से ज्यादा सॉल्व करने का.
Exactly. आपको लगता है टाइम नहीं बचा है, मेरे तो ये 20 क्वेश्चंस बचे हुए हैं, 10 क्वेश्चंस बचे हुए हैं. तो यहाँ पे what element comes is 66 में से मुझे 33 क्वेश्चंस ही करने हैं. पर सेक्शन मुझे 10-11 क्वेश्चंस ही करने हैं, 12 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं.
तो टाइम बढ़ गया आपका.
टाइम बढ़ गया. तो 40 मिनट्स में मुझे 12 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करना है. हैव ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
Now the important part is how do I identify those questions? So what I always do is I know my strengths, I know which topic is strong for me. और मुझे पता है कि यार चलो मुझे कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स या कुछ बिल्कुल नहीं आता है या चलो थोड़ा वीक है, यार मैं वहां पे ना अपना एफर्ट नहीं वेस्ट करूंगा, मैं 2 मिनट नहीं लगाऊंगा.
एफर्ट इन द राइट डायरेक्शन.
राइट डायरेक्शन.
यस.
मैं अपनी 15 सेकंड पढ़ूंगा, ओ दिस क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम दैट टॉपिक, नहीं ये नहीं करना, बाकी हैं आई विल गो अहेड. Then I'll spend the next 1 minute to understand actually what I need to do, which formula I have to apply, or what is the thought process and all that. If in the next 1 minute I know कि yeah, this is possible for me, I'll go ahead. Even if I waste 1 minute and I realize कि यार ये नहीं हो रहा मेरे से, या 2 मिनट भी लग जाए, I still save those 2 extra minutes अभी तो.
राइट. तो जज्बाती नहीं होना कि मुझसे हो क्यों नहीं रहा. कई बार ऐसा भी होता है, जैसे सपोज टाइम स्पीड एंड डिस्टेंस आपका स्ट्रेंथ है, आपको बहुत अच्छा आता है, फिर भी कई बार इट जस्ट डजंट क्लिक. सो it's just important to tell yourself, boss, it's time to move on.
Exactly, that's very important. क्योंकि यार वहाँ 6 मिनट लगा के फायदा नहीं है, 3 ही मार्क्स मिलेंगे.
Right. 2 और क्वेश्चन कर लोगे. That's like a gem of advice. Thank you so much, Akshay, for that. Now, how was the experience at MDI?
Experience at MDI was very different than what I initially expected.
अच्छा.
Normally, I used to think that corporate life is more busy.
अच्छा.
You're more occupied. But MBA is a completely different experience from all of your probably, I would not say all, I've just done engineering, but it's very different. It's more hectic. It teaches you a lot. You have to cover a lot of things within a very limited span of time. So it teaches you time management. It teaches you strategic efforts again. And that's one very important lesson you should learn to be very successful in any field that you work. So it was very nice, a blend of academics, co-curricular activities, and then of course placements and all. You have to be very focused towards that and prepare for that as well simultaneously.
So we see you very sharp. You're already a gold medalist. What are the things you were doing in the college except putting a lot of hard work and preparing for your core subjects?
So even though I've been sound in my academics from the
beginning, we can see that.
But it has not always been that I've been the topper always, ki 90% या 90. And I didn't know that.
यहाँ पर आप थोड़ा elaborate करिए क्योंकि students को लगता है कि throughout आपका topper होना जरूरी है. It is not needed ना.
ये if you are great, good for you. If you are not, it's okay. If you have missed out on something, ठीक है, अपने efforts future पे लगाओ यार.
Wow.
I had a CGPA.
Could you repeat that sentence again? I think that's the highlight of this entire discussion. Effort future पे लगाओ.
अपने efforts future पे लगाओ, जो पीछे रह गया वो रह गया यार.
बिल्कुल.
You don't have control over that.
Wow. What a lesson. Thank you.
So as you said about my journey, class 10th में I had a CGPA 10.
Wow.
Class 12th में I had 81%. That's not 95, 90. It is 81. And I think a lot of people get that.
Yes.
Yeah. Then in my engineering, I had something around 7.98 per CGPA.
7.98.
Yeah. So it's not bad actually for the relative grading. So that is pretty much fine. But again, I was not the topper. And even when I joined MBA, I had no aspiration of having a gold medal. I came there for some learnings to steer my career around in the right direction, explore different areas where an MBA can take you. Is it going to be marketing, strategy, finance, or something else, product management, or something else? To be very honest, even till the last 2 months of my MBA, I didn't know that I was even in the running for that.
Achha.
That's when I got to know. So this gold medal was not just for CGPA, it was for overall performance.
Wow, that's amazing.
How were your grades? What impact you actually brought to the brand of MDI by performing in different case competitions, corporate competitions and all. So I was not the topper CGPA wise, to be very frank. But what helped me in every aspect is when I used to take a subject, there are electives also. I used to be very diligent in the sense that pre-read, padho, you have to.
You did a lot of groundwork.
Yeah, you have to take out learnings from that. And कई बार क्या होता है ना, आपको लगता है यार फायदा क्या हुआ है पढ़ के, but ऐसा नहीं होता. You actually take some learnings जो शायद आज implement नहीं हुई, वो बाद में काम आती है.
So you should focus more on the learnings, the process,
right,
and the result will eventually happen in your favor.
If you're in the right direction, your efforts are in the right direction, it will. अब आप कहीं गलत जगह एफर्ट डालते जा रहे हो तो
गलत एफर्ट गलत जगह मतलब you could.
So my point is guidance and mentorship is very important. So even during my MBA, I used to stay in touch with my seniors at MDI, even with like seniors from my time at Citibank. I still am in touch with them. So that mentorship is very important. And if you sometimes feel lost, even a conversation with a colleague, with your batchmate helps. So those things I think helped me a lot during the entire journey.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, do tell us that if I ask you to give 3 suggestions to our aspirants, what would those 3 suggestions be?
First thing is, never lose hope.
Never lose hope. Wow.
Yeah. Second thing is, take learnings from your failures. Because that's very important. As I said, galat jagah effort jo aap bol rahe ho baar. So if you take learnings, then you will not put effort in the wrong direction. That's very important. And third thing is, whatever you do, manage your time in terms of your effort and the value it's bringing to you.
Right.
That's very important.
Okay. So this brings us to the end of the discussion. Thank you so much, Akshay. There are a lot of learnings from this discussion and our students will be definitely benefited. We are so grateful. The entire team of MBA Wallah extends heartfelt gratitude for taking your time out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope that students get some value out of this, and it was really a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.